So I want to start off by just going and celebrating some of the stuff that we've already achieved in the society section. We've had a really positive 2-3 months already. So start off, we've got record society sign-ups. That's the first quantifiable way of saying how well we're doing. As an example, the Art Society was set up in about February last year. They came to our bazaar and they had 300 people register their interest in that society. That's huge, and it's something that we never actually had before, and students wanted it. We've had record bazaar attendance. So this year we had 4,040 students scan their student cards at Student Activities Bazaar, 300 more than sport. Yes. Sorry, Luke.
Not being at our memberships though, so don't worry.
But it's absolutely fine. And that's a big record, a big achievement for us, and one we never really worked towards. It just happened from kind of generating good spirit around societies. Record Give It a Go involvement. In total we had 50 different free participation sessions in societies from over 20 different societies taking part. So again, that's them getting out there and showing off what they do. Record Sock Sport sign-ups. Shout out to my girl Riri.
28 teams signed up to the Football League, and we're getting about 14 teams showing up to one of the events.
So it's a lot of students engaged with stuff they didn't do otherwise. They came here for societies, they've got sport instead. And also we've got a record number of committee who look very similar to each other, as you can see here. Which is quite a good record to have, and that doesn't even include, yeah, anyway, obviously he's a bad looking Joris Nelson, and that's fine, he knows it. But yeah, so this is going to be my big friendly strat plan. Obviously we house about 120 different societies at the moment, 3,500 students last year, up to 2,900 already this year, but it's how to make the big societies house a big friendly home away from home for everyone. Essentially, there's a difference between being in a house and being in a home. So yeah, a big story for me. I don't know if you guys, many of you are involved in societies or ever been to a societies chairs council. So they're like my board of trustees. They're the guys who tell me where I should be directing my stuff in the student union. And you walk into that room, as I did as a chair, and at the most you sit a chair away from someone else who's next to you. It's a bit sad. No one talks. Even if you've met each other before, you don't really interact. And I hate that. That's like the worst thing I can imagine. So my aim for this year is to walk into my last Chairs Council in May and have to ask people to shut up because they're talking too much. If I've achieved that, then I'm really, really happy with how the society section is looking. So what I'm going to do for you now is, I presume, hands up if you've heard of Build-A-Bear before. The shop Build-A-Bear? Right, so what we're going to do is the second ever example of Build a Chair, established in 1993. That's a bear in my image, isn't he adorable? So for me, this is what we want our section to look like, what we should be able to give the people who are going to lead our section and create experiences for other students. So you might think this is a chair, scrap that, you're wrong. This is a chair. This chair is very anatomically incorrect, don't worry. But for now, let's call this chair Jay. As you can see, Jay's a little bit bare at the moment. You probably wouldn't want to walk into a room full of Jays. It doesn't really fit. So Jay needs quite a lot of experience, a lot of development from us. Jay needs some foundations to develop his society upon. He's a chair, he's leading a group of students, but he's not quite ready yet. There you go. There's his foundation. Some beautiful bulky legs there. So what does he need? So we're trying to work our way forward in developing some really powerful students. Training. We'll cut off a little bit. Basically, students need training. It's quite simple. They currently sit 2 different training sessions while you're on committee, and we're already looking to reevaluate that. It is valuable, but it needs to be restructured and reevaluated to give them what they want and help them create the best society in their image. Next week, I'm meeting up with about 25, 30 different representatives from loads of different societies, loads of different positions, and ask them what they want from training, what they need to be a good chair. DBS checks, so this gives them a chance to go out and work with lots of different people. Actually, you need a DBS check to be in a position of authority with students at the college if they're under 18. So getting our chairs and various committee members with DBS checks mean they can go out to the college and get them involved as well. Through collaboration with Action, we did with sport as well, we actually did 2 DBS evenings. We got about 280 people DBS checked in those 2 evenings. That's about 5 hours of work we put in, and that's fantastic for us. And coaching contracts. So lots of societies have external coaches who, I'll be realistic, held a bit of power over everyone else. It was up to them how it worked. They turned up when they wanted to. If they were late, no one could ever do anything about it. We want to take some power back into the committee, and those volunteers that work really hard and give them some coaching contracts, they're there. They have some levity and they can organise their society how they want to. So what else does Jay need? Jay needs a voice to celebrate his successes and identify his weaknesses. So, for example, I want to maximise the appraisal system that we do. Every year, each society committee undertakes at least one appraisal with my own committee. They're kind of a token at the moment. I think, yeah, they're good, and they were introduced 2 years ago, and they get them thinking, but they're not really used properly afterwards. So I want to set this committee some targets, use that feedback to create general society targets and directions, and also increase continuity year on year with committees. When I had my appraisal, I didn't get the feedback that was from the appraisal of my my predecessor, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You want to know what their struggles were and take that on board as well. Utilise hall reps. I'll be honest, I don't care how the hall rep system works in Loughborough in terms of societies, if they're on a committee, if they're not, if they're voluntary. But if we have them, I want them to be used properly and have a buy-in of the section and spread the philosophy to the new reps and be present at move-in days. Currently, my committee works really, really hard at move-in days to be there as an extra additional committee body, and it spreads the word about society section. But if we could have the hall reps doing it and doing it properly and thoroughly, that would benefit us even more. And society stories is quite a nice thing for me. Make the most of our society, the fortnight thing that we do, and celebrate the various successes and thank yous that different people have. Some societies were set up by chairs who took control of that society for 3 years on and basically took on all the responsibility. You look at Sam Hill, who's my development officer in Flix, and Flix was really struggling. He came in and he's rejuvenated it, and it's now a really well-known thing. He's developed all his employability skills from it, and I want to say thank you and get some interviews out there and get some exposure out there as well. What else does Jay need? Any guesses on what Jay might need? Trousers? Come in. I think first Jay needs to develop some good practice and some confidence by getting extra bulky. What do I mean by that? So risk assessments and code of conducts, or RAS and COX, as they've been called in my office recently. They are not fun in any means, I won't pretend they are, but they are really essential. They set good practice for committee and for members, it keeps things going, and it means that everyone knows what activities are taking place. And it also means that members are safe, and that's really important actually, that you can come into an activity as often as you want or as little as you want and feel safe about it and know exactly what the expectations behind that activity are. And also to enhance our employability award, something that Anna mentioned. So last year, Jenna did an amazing thing and set up the Society's Employability Award. It is exactly the same as the overall Loughborough Employability Award, but different key members of the Society section, mostly her Society's exec, did it all in three-hour-long sessions. So 9 hours in total and a presentation, and because of the stuff that they displayed in that, they got the Loughborough Employability Award that some people spend 3 years working towards. So it's really important. I want to extend that even and take it to loads of different people who work really hard in the society and show that the things that you develop, like conflict management, like teamwork, that you don't realise you're ever developing as a chair or as an action rep for the hall, are shared, and they know how to sell them a little bit more. Jay needs a vision. There you go. I want to get my society exec to think big. Push their aims to be the best aims possible. Bigger events, better support. Take the Winter Showcase, for example. Historically, the Winter Showcase has had the same 12, 15 societies taking place. It's been really, really nice. But that's not enough. It's all been in room 1 this year. We're going to take over Piazza, do a proper Christmas market type thing, invite other societies who don't want to get on stage and perform to have a stall, to sell stuff that they do, to show some of the celebrations that they've had, and to sell what their society does. That's bigger and it's better and it gets more people involved in the process. Space, this is the thing that came to me in Student Forum, something that I've got a really big passion for, is get our society some space. The university pushes what we do hugely, and every open day they talk about how we've got over 100 different societies that are academic and non-academic, and you can pursue your passion from our section. But realistically, they've not given us anywhere to build upon that and make it better. Our societies could have £300 worth of assets hidden under the chair's bed. And what's sustainable about that? What's to say that those things are going to stay there? And that needs to change. So we're currently looking into that quite heavily. And my aptly named age range challenge, there are lots of opportunities available to them. The nursery want engagement. As we said, the Action volunteers and the cheerleaders helped to organise baby cheerleading. Actually, a week before that, my yoga society did baby yoga, and it was amazing. They came back and said they'd never experienced such awful children because they just wanted to roll around everywhere and not do yoga. But it was great, and the nursery got what they wanted. The college need inspiring, but offer just as much as other students do. There are so many talented students at the college that I think are missing out from our section. And also London students, they see the enterprising value of societies, they see the employability aspect. And it's about making sure that our societies go there and set up sister relationships and things with them as well. And the last thing that I think Jay needs is an identity. So here he is, pretty dashing if I say so myself. Society forums. So a big thing that I was really proud of when I came up with my manifesto, I think it's really important. There's a diverse demographic of students in the society section, 3,500 students from all sorts of different cultures, all sorts of different backgrounds. Yes, Marina. Get on Snapchat. But we never really gauge them. We've got forum reps. We've got 2 people to represent 3,500 students who may not care about the union. They may just care about their culture or care about playing dodgeball. And it's about giving them a voice and a value and organising things for them to make them feel special. I'd say currently, if you look at the society section, 80% of them feel like they belong to their society. About 40% feel they belong to the society section. But I'd say less than 10% feel they are a valuable part of a students' union. And that's not enough, and we want to make sure they feel like stakeholders in what they do. And the last and big celebration point for me is a varsity. We have so many successes here that are sporting, but I think we could actually together get so many more successes that are more than sport. We have so many talents in my societies. They build relationships with other students' unions. Let's get the DJ Society do a massive sound clash with DJs from other students' unions and bring them all in here and talk about that and show that off. And also get a patriotism for their society with Loughborough Students' Union. They're representing Loughborough, they're representing their society, and everything they do and they develop is thanks in part to that. So yeah, that's it. I think you can all agree that if by the end of this process every chair looks a little bit more like that, we'd be in a much better place. Thanks very much. Any questions at all?
So you talked about obviously leaving halls to sort out hall reps and how they're organised, and you've got no like push to have a say in that. But in terms of utilising them, what would you see happening ideally? How would you link the society exec, for example? You've got enough of them, say one per hall. How would you then get that engagement? How would you actually utilise it?
So the first point, I don't think I'd leave it up to the halls to decide what they wanted to do. But I think whatever they decide is what we support and we want to make the most of it. Obviously, I'd like a buy-in in that if I could have it. I'll use an example. When 2 of the recent halls who have RAG and Societies reps advertised for their new reps, they were advertised as RAG reps. And then 3 lines down in their role description it said, also responsibility for advertising societies. That's not a societies rep, in my opinion. That's just someone who's been given a job title to fill up their time a little bit. For me, I want to get them into our section, meet different people. I'll be honest, I want to get drunk with them and make them feel like the society section is fun and can offer that sort of experience as well. If they want to drink, camera. But it's about getting them a buy-in and making them meet the other people that have created what societies is.
Lead on from that. So what other avenues do you have to like promote the society sections to people who have a different view to you on societies?
What do you mean, like different views?
So you said like, oh yeah, you want to show that societies is fun. How do you show that to people other than like stuff like the showcase?
So obviously the showcase is great as a one-off event, but actually getting that footage that we're going to get out of that out there, I think getting as much media exposure as we can, articles, interviews, I think that's really key. I'll be honest, I'm crap at social media. I don't engage with the Twitter thing, but I don't think that's how my societies want it spread. They want to see articles about what they do to students. Also, just getting them representatives on things. We've got our first ever HSF representative, which started last May. That's massive for us. Make the most of our student forum and show that there are impacts that come from being in a society. I don't know if that fully answers your question, sorry.
It does. Yeah. Showcase.
I think celebrate it.
Yeah,
Really, like if you can't show things off without celebrating them a little bit and get people involved, it's not just fair. I don't know. You're not just going to stumble across the society section upstairs and go, "Can I join a society, please?" You need to have a vision to do that first. Thank you very much.